to the Chill and Chat Talk Show.
And did we ever have some good chilling this weekend?
Yes, we did. You know, we had a 3-day work vacation. Very, very therapeutic to the soul, just to get away.
Absolutely, and especially when it involves wine.
Yeah, so coming up on our show, we will be showcasing one of the 3 wineries that we visited in Kelowna.
Yes, very exciting, and all of them that I'm a member of now, so definitely an occupational hazard.
So I think we should get a little strategic about our wine memberships because, you know, there's benefits when you're a member, so I could just be a member
Join
and
some,
you
I can join some.
And etc.
Or maybe we just double up and get double the workouts.
Double the workouts?
I guess those kind of workouts.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. But I know there are COVID rules. You can only have 6.
I know, but I just want to belong to all of them because they're just all so amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Now, there's something about having special bottles shipped to you a few times a year.
I know.
From a winery. Ooh.
I love that when the doorbell goes and there's my big box of wine. Anyway, also we're going to be catching up with the Total Makeover Challenge ladies and hearing how their week went.
Speaking of that, up next, the Total Makeover Challenge series.
Welcome to the Chill and Chat. Jenny and Trish. Hey.
Jenny and Trish, Trish and Jenny, it's all the same.
Oh, it's all the same. And also to the Chilliwack Total Makeover Challenge TV series.
Yay! Okay, so today we're doing weight measures. We're going to find out how their workouts are doing.
Exactly.
As well as how their, you know, weight loss is going.
And we're also going to talk to them about the Real Me seminar that they just took this weekend. And, you know, maybe they had some aha moments.
Yes, we're really looking forward to chatting with them. So let's go.
Okay, my name is Amanda. There. And my mission is to provide a nurturing environment for children to help them feel safe and cared for.
So we had this exercise that we had to do that involved us fighting for us to stay within our virtual group and be the ones who are saved. And I found that I was giving up my spot on the bus, so to speak. And I realized that's something that I've done most of my life. I've been willing to just give up, you know, for somebody else so that they could have the spotlight, whatever. And it got me thinking, you know, like, why not me? Like, it's always been, I'm not better than anybody else, but this Real Me seminar got me thinking that I'm no worse than anybody else, you know, so why not me?
My mission is to show appreciation for elders and educate the kids and praise and love all.
Yeah, it was. What I'm really having a hard time with is my self-esteem because I've been given such negative words my whole life. So to have like so many women, it was just like positive affirmations after affirmations, and it really kind of sunk into my heart for the first time, you know, and kind of ditching those negative words back there. So
my mission statement is to empower the vulnerable to feel heard and feel like that they matter.
Perfect.
Yes!
Awesome! Love it!
I think the most impactful thing for me for the Real Me seminar was that I am worthy and that the blocks, apparently my friends know that I have lots of blocks and I didn't quite realize how many I had, and I am definitely an introvert and I stuff everything down and continue to smile and everybody just doesn't realize, and so I finally realized that I have blocks and I'm working on them and I am worthy and important and I matter and I deserve to lose weight and feel great too.
Hi, my name is Robin. My mission is to advocate and empower the special needs and elderly to aspire themselves to obtain and accomplish their dreams.
Yay! Yay! Woo!
I have to say that there was definitely a whole lot of impact this time around that was very different from the first time. The first time made me understand like what was going on inside. This time it made me have to clarify a whole lot of things. I've realized my mission statement isn't clear. I am definitely not on the path that I thought I was, and I definitely see that a whole lot clearer now.
My mission statement is to heal others by brightening their day and empowering them.
Yay! Wow. My name is Rachel, and my mission is to inspire and empower women to find joy, healing, and freedom through adventure.
It was like when we got to the end to working on our purpose and mission statement that it all just came together and it made sense, and I absolutely had that reinforcement about what my purpose is at the deepest level. And that, I've just got goosebumps. Like, that was just magical to get that. I kind of had it and it was here and ephemeral, but it just solidified that, and that was just magical, wonderful.
Yeah. Ooh, I lost, what, almost 3 pounds? Yay! Woo!
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Ah.
Yay! 0.9, that's still pretty exciting. I'm still... all right, yay!
Oh my goodness, like,
Wow.
talk about results in
Oh my
like,
goodness.
both inches and weight loss.
I know.
And
Well, let's go
amazing.
over it.
Yeah.
We'll start with the weights.
Okay, so third place, we have Amanda at 1.3 pounds.
Awesome. Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Amanda. And then we have Kara at 2.8 pounds.
Yeah, and she seems to be averaging about 3 pounds a week, so
She's
that's
doing
absolutely
amazing,
fantastic.
yes.
And in first place, congratulations, Allie at 6.8
I know.
pounds. Oh my
6.8,
goodness.
Allie, that is so amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay, let's do inches now.
Yes, okay.
So in third place is Rachel, 3.25 inches.
Congratulations, Rachel. And in second place, Nikki, 9.5 pounds. She's working it.
Oh yeah. And in first place, drum roll.
Oh my goodness.
Kara, 15.75 inches.
That's just crazy.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
And also it was so neat to hear people's aha moments, or how they were
for the real me.
Yes,
Yes.
for the real me, and that
Beautiful
was,
stories.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go now. Bye. Wow, the Real Me seminar really affected them.
Oh my goodness, and it was so inspiring seeing, the changes that happened over the 14 hours on Zoom.
Oh,
Crazy.
wow.
I can't believe people actually stayed the whole time.
Oh, we did.
I know.
And then the mission statements that they wrote.
Yeah.
Wow, they all need
Yeah.
to live their mission statements,
Yeah.
because it'll change the world.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
Very life-changing, and just being able to see how they went, wow, now this is why I understand I'm doing these things today because of what's happened in the past, and
Yes.
being able to get the tools to help with the future. So I just love all that. It was fantastic.
Yes. And then they had their weigh and measure today.
Great results.
Yeah, really great results. Total Makeover Challenge is definitely about improving your health, but on the inside, but also on the outside. Yes.
And I'm doing something for the inside right now.
You are?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I started meditating.
You're meditating? Okay, I'm a little bit shocked.
I know.
Because I know I've seen you
I'm shocked
try
too.
to meditate. You went, okay, I'm going to meditate, and then you're like, you can't do it.
No, I can't meditate. I mean, I've never been able to do it because I can never still my mind. But I'm actually found this thing on Netflix, and it's called The Headspace Guide to Meditation. And it's a really good introductory way to learn how to do meditation. So I'm really excited about it.
Wow.
And the biggest thing, apparently, when you meditate for more than 8 weeks, it actually increases different parts of your brain. And one of the areas being memory, which, of course, we know how that's with the hereditary in my family,
Right,
how that,
yeah.
is a concern, right? So, yeah.
So it increases memory.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you meditate every day.
Apparently, that part of the
After-
brain gets bigger, and
Your brain actually gets bigger.
yes. So
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway,
I wish I had a scanner. I could scan your brain. Are you doing it every are you doing it every day still?
Yes, I am. Yes.
So after 8 weeks, I got to check out your brain, but I can't because I don't have a scanner. But that would be very interesting.
It is very interesting.
You know, I've been meditating for probably over 32 years now.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you started at 5?
Yeah, I was so young when I started. Yes.
Of course.
So are we ready for our guest?
Yes, we will be chatting with Paula DeWit, who we actually met in season 2. And Paula has a reputation for excellence with her artistic music direction and leadership, both of choirs and orchestras. She's a music director and conductor for the Chilliwack Symphony Orchestra and Chorus, White Rock City Orchestra, and is also the artistic director and conductor for Bella Voce.
Wow, and she's a very passionate person who thrives on collaborating with people. And it's her ultimate goal to make great music and bring much joy into people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's actually currently working on a healing project and moving forward in her desire to do public speaking and telling her story. So since suffering trauma in the CAF, she is now hoping to give others with PTSD new hope for fuller life.
So we'll be right back with our guest in a moment. Welcome, Paula.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you. So great to have you back.
Be here.
So thank you for being on our show again. So why don't we start with you sharing a little bit about yourself for those who didn't get a chance to see you in season 2.
Absolutely, yes. I'm the conductor of the Chilliwack Symphony Orchestra and Chorus, and I'm also the founder of Bella Voce a cappella ensemble here in the Valley.
Yeah, and a Chilliwack resident. You've been around here for quite a long time.
Yes, since 1988.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely a
Yes.
Chilliwackian.
A real Chilliwackian.
Yeah, a real
Yes.
Chilliwackian. Wow.
So, Paula, in the last season, you touched a bit about your life in the Canadian Armed Forces and some of the experiences that you had. Could you share a little bit more with us again?
Sure. I was 20 years old when I joined the Canadian Armed Forces.
Wow, that's so young.
And yes, very early on in my career.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was assaulted by a senior member of the Canadian Armed Forces. And so I decided that I would keep it a secret because I thought if I talked about it or told what happened to me, that they would probably kick me out of the Canadian Armed Forces because they'd probably think of me as a troublemaker. And I did not want to jeopardize my career. So I said, that's it. I'm going to keep this a secret and live with it. And I thought that I was strong enough and that I could live with it, but I found out pretty quickly that I really wasn't strong enough. And the effects of keeping that secret and going through that trauma, it affected me pretty quickly, like almost immediately. I can already remember flying in the airplane, and it was just surreal going to my very first posting after that happened to me. So
did that happen while you were in training still then?
It happened in basic training, unfortunately. So very beginning of my career, here I was ready to start my career as a bands person playing the trumpet, hopefully to be the first female conductor. But yeah, so I thought I better keep this to myself.
And how many years were you in training for?
How long did you stay?
I actually did 11 years in the Canadian Armed Forces.
Wow.
Yes.
And
And
so
my
that-
last
that
years
was
were
like
here in
the-
Chilliwack.
Wow, so that was the very first, like in the beginning, during training.
Yeah, so it pretty well shaped how my career was going to play out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Wow. So, so you mentioned the effects while you were still in the Canadian Armed Forces. What about after you left after 11 years?
Yeah, that was probably the darkest time when I left the Canadian Forces. I was housebound. I had agoraphobia. I didn't want to leave my house. And I knew that this was not the life for me. I needed to do something. I needed to fix the situation. So I read a lot of self-help books and got some courage to get out of the house and join a community choir because it was music that saved me and eventually got me onto the path of looking after myself. And yeah.
Wow.
So what about the effects on your career? Because obviously you went into the Canadian Armed Forces for a certain career. So what sort of happened in your career path with them?
Well, it played on my confidence naturally.
Right.
And when you go through trauma, you you act out things, and it affects you greatly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you lack trust, and yeah, it's a difficult
Well, yeah, I can
journey.
imagine. Yeah. Well, we're going to be right back after this message to hear more from Paula.
So we're here with Paula DeWit, who has shared about her traumatic experience while being in the Canadian Armed Forces as a young woman. So, Paula, we are hearing a lot of things from the news today about the abuse of power and the treatment of women. So share about, your thoughts on this.
Yeah, right now, Chief of Defense Staff Vance is being investigated, and there's then his replacement is being investigated, and then there's another one that just came out yesterday that's being investigated.
Wow.
So it's all coming out of the woodwork now.
It seems to be coming out of the woodwork. It's kind of hitting a wall right now, where it's being exposed at a high level,
Which is, it needs to be. It needs to be exposed right now. I can't believe this has been happening, because I think it's been a while since that happened to you.
Yeah, for me, it's 37 years ago, and now it's still hearing about it.
You're still hearing about cases like that. I mean,
But what's nice now is that the higher ups are now being exposed. So, like, who polices the police? Who's going to police the highest ranking officers in the Canadian Armed Forces? So now they're looking at bringing in outside people to investigate these things.
Yeah.
So there's more accountability to the members of the Canadian Armed Forces and to the members of Canada. So I would think that they should probably investigate it and report it to Parliament instead of reporting it to the Minister of Defense, if they actually want to make progress with this.
Exactly. Using external,
Yeah, more accountability and then less chance to sweep it under the rug or apologize to the wrong
I
person.
understand that they were trying to do something about it. Something about
Operation Honor.
That was back in the year 2000.
2015.
2015.
They brought in Operation Honor, where you were supposed to report any type of assault or sexual harassment of any sort. But the troops would call it Operation Hop Honor, so I don't think it really... it didn't really work,
that's
I
terrible.
don't think.
Operation Hop Honor, that's what they said? Oh.
Yeah.
So how you go from honor to hop? Okay.
Okay, that's just terrible.
Yes.
So what are they doing about it now? I know that stuff is coming up. Like, do you know of anything that they're doing?
Just basically what we were talking about earlier about the external investigations are probably going to be taking place. And another interesting thing is that they've just recently hired a woman to be our next Chief of Defense Staff.
That's
so
the
that
way
might
it
be
should
comforting
be.
for some of the women
Yes.
in the military that are feeling unheard. Now they may relate to her, and that she may be a voice for them, which is wonderful.
Exactly.
The newest ombudsman is also a female. So it's nice and comforting for the women right now. I think that's a good move.
Yes, good, excellent. Well, these experiences can definitely have a profound effect on women for a very long time. So can you share with our audience some of the tools that you've utilized to help you get through this traumatic experience?
The biggest take home, I would say, is to remember that shame cannot hide where there's empathy. So I think people, if something is happening to you, talk to somebody. Don't keep it a secret like I did, because it'll affect you, it'll eat away at you. If you can tell someone immediately when it's happening, you have a quicker chance of healing and a quicker chance of not developing post-traumatic stress disorder. So immediately would be my recommendation. Just to get out there and tell somebody, because there's no shame in it. And,
absolutely.
And you're not alone, because I remember when it happened to me, I thought, what the heck? Am I the only person? I can't tell anybody. This is like, so, and little did I know that it's so rampant in the Canadian Armed Forces. They have a club called It's Just 700, because they make a joke, it's only happened to 700 people in the Canadian Armed Forces, but it's maybe 700 plus add 3 zeros behind it. I mean, it's so many people.
I mean, 700 is not acceptable either, right?
One is not acceptable.
One is not acceptable, exactly.
Yes. And I don't know if this stat is wrong, or has changed, but they do say that 1 in 4 women have experienced some kind of sexual abuse. So I mean,
Reported cases.
Yeah,
one
and that's
in four
reported. So you're saying
yes.
how many
Right,
are not
yeah.
reported because a lot of people don't talk about it.
Yes.
And one of the other things you talked about was support networks. For as a tool to help with dealing with the trauma.
Yes. Try to find some type of a support network
Mm-hmm.
in your community, whether it's online or you can go in person and just talk and talk and talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
it's being so important for you to come here and share
Yes.
that, because I'm sure there's lots of women listening to this today and wanting to share their story, and hopefully that inspires them to do the same.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing with us.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
you're very welcome. And if anybody in the audience ever needs someone to talk to, please feel free to contact me.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And
well,
then
thank
maybe
you so
I can
much.
help them, put them in the right direction.
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
And now, Utterly Uncorked in Kelowna. Welcome to Utterly Uncorked.
And we're here at Ex Nihilo, one of my favorite wineries,
Yes, drinking Pinot Noir.
around a fire pit. Absolutely amazing. And there's
so
mulled
nice
wine.
and warm. Yes, and we did have some mulled wine as well.
Yes, on top of this glass of wine. I have the Pinot. How about you?
Pinot.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
We're
here with Laura, and she's going to tell us the history
Of Ex Nihilo.
Yes.
Ex nihilo is Latin for out of nothing and is the name of this carving done by Frederick Hart. It's his depiction of the creation of man, how Adam and Eve came out of a turbulence, but also out of nothing. This is a prototype carving, about 6 feet by 8 feet, but the real thing is actually atop of the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. 14 feet high, 20 feet wide, and Adam and Eve were life-size. Part of a 3-part series he did over the 3 entrances, where he did the creation of man, ex nihilo, the creation of day, and the creation of night, which is the name of our Bordeaux style blend, and it's delicious. Took him 17 years to complete, and upon completion, he actually died shortly after, from lung cancer, from breathing in all the limestone dust. So after he passed, his prototypes ended up at a gallery in San Francisco, where our owners happened to be on their first vacation together as a new couple. They'd only been together for about 2.5 months when Jeff decided to whisk Dakoa away for a weekend in Napa. And on their last day, they had lunch in the city. They were walking down the street and saw Ex Nihilo. And Jeff says, Dakoa, we're going to open a winery, and we're going to call it Ex Nihilo. And she's thinking, Jeff, you better slow down, buddy. We've only been dating for 2.5 months. So she kind of blew him off. But if Jeff is anything, he's determined. And so he proposed by the end of that year. They got married and found this property in 2003. Very different than what we see now here. It was a lot of forest, a few fruit trees, and a very dilapidated old shack. So they immediately started falling trees. They built their house behind me, had 3 boys that are now 12, 14, and 17 on Monday. Then started building the winery building that's right behind us here, and planted vines on the property in 2007, and the building opened in 2010. We've been serving fantastic wines ever since, and expanding every day. So not only Ex Nihilo, the name of this gorgeous carving, it's kind of our theme, because everything we have really was created out of nothing.
Well, you heard it all from Laura.
What an amazing story.
Wow,
How beautiful.
She told it so beautifully. yes.
Just like that.
So
Something
cheers.
out of nothing.
Something out of nothing.
Cheers.
Love that winery.
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
yeah, Ex Nihilo is such an incredible place, and sitting around those fire pits, and
The view of the Okanagan Lake.
yeah.
Wow.
And we had such a great episode with Jeff, the owner of Ex Nihilo, in our season 2.
in season
so
2,
yeah, you have
that
to
was
check that out.
beautiful. Yes, and so this time we had Laura.
Yes.
Didn't she do amazing?
Oh my
at
goodness, we
explaining
just kind of said, "Oh, tell us the story,"
It
and
was
it's
like,
like
And she just whipped that off. Wow,
I know.
that was so
She's-
amazing.
she's
Very
a natural.
spontaneous. Yes.
And you know, it's so interesting too, seeing how these wineries are, you know, making changes in response to COVID. So, you know, having the, you know, the dinner in the dome, the bubbles, you know, it's such a great way to protect yourself and being in your own social bubble.
Oh yes, and I think some of the restaurants. They are. There's restaurants in Kelowna that are also doing the dome.
Well, apparently the domes,
Delta, I think.
Yeah, the domes are started with Friend.
Friend
now,
started it, and everybody's copying them. But
exactly.
it was just, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course, you know, the fire pits, as we were saying with there, you know, now that's starting to happen at a lot of the different
All of them
wineries
are doing
also.
that now too. Yes.
And the individual tasting rooms.
Oh yes, of course. There's those too.
Yes. Anyway, and you know, what a heartfelt, you know, interview with Paula.
Oh yes, very touching.
Yeah.
And again, if anyone out there has experienced abuse, take her advice and talk about it. Don't hide it.
Yeah, that was great advice. Anyone who wants to share with us questions or feedback or requests for topics, email chillandchattv@gmail.com.
Until next time, cheers!
Keep chilling and chatting.